15% of the adult population is currently operating with failing kidneys, and that green smoothie you drank this morning might be accelerating the collapse. Everything you have been told about renal failure is a dangerous half-truth. It is not an inevitable decline of aging. The first warning is not lower back pain. It is the bubbly, foamy urine staring back at you in the toilet bowl. That foam is protein. It is escaping your bloodstream. You feel a deep, unexplainable exhaustion settling behind your eyes around 3 in the afternoon. Your hands are persistently cold. A dull ache radiates through your lower torso. You think you need coffee. You do not need caffeine. You are turning toxic. When was the last time you actually looked at the water in the bowl before flushing? Most people look away. They ignore the evidence of a failing filtration system. 5,000 years ago, the father of modern medicine saw this exact pathology. Hippocrates did not have modern blood panels. He had absolute clinical observation. He documented the stagnation of bodily fluids. He prescribed specific, biological interventions that yielded a success rate modern nephrologists still study. He did not use synthetic diuretics. He used one specific compound. A golden biological solvent that dissolves the rust inside your renal filters. But to make it work, you have to unlock it with a 2-second kitchen hack. We will detail that exact protocol in a moment. You might think reducing your daily salt intake is enough to stop the damage. You trade regular salt for low-sodium alternatives. You drink more water. But salt is just the pressure. The real villain is a microscopic corrosive slowly eating your filters alive. It is called oxidative stress. Do not think of it as a vague chemical imbalance. Think of your kidneys as a high-grade hydraulic filtration system. They process 200 quarts of fluid every single day. The nephrons are the delicate pressure valves of this engine. Oxidative stress is corrosive internal rust. Free radicals act like abrasive shrapnel. They enter the bloodstream. They scrape against the Teflon coating of your microscopic pipes. The damage causes systemic wildfire. The surrounding tissue swells. The valves warp. They fracture under the hydraulic load. The mechanical seal breaks. That is when the structural proteins you need to build muscle and repair tissue leak straight into your exhaust system. That is the foam in the water. It is engine oil leaking from a cracked block. Modern medicine spots the leak. They prescribe blood pressure medication. They attempt to lower the hydraulic force pushing against the broken valves. But those medications leave the rust completely untouched. They reduce the force of the water, but the pipes are still corroding from the inside out. Your engine is still rotting. The cellular decay crawls deeper into the tissue. The sludge thickens. Hippocrates recognized this systemic decay in his patients. He knew that treating the pressure was useless if the filter itself was decaying. He targeted the corrosion directly. While modern doctors watch these filters fail and advise patients to wait for dialysis, ancient populations took a different approach. Roman gladiators survived brutal combat without their organs shutting down by using a specific dietary shield to flush uremic toxins. Modern medicine waits for the hydraulic pump to seize completely. But 2,000 years ago, Hippocrates discovered a 3-part biological solvent that dissolves this rust entirely. And the most powerful ingredient is sitting in your pantry right now. That golden solvent is curcumin. The active compound inside turmeric. It is not just a spice. It is a targeted biochemical intervention. Curcumin acts as a high-grade biological solvent. It locates the inflammatory pathways causing the cellular rust. It binds to the free radicals. It neutralizes their electrical charge. The corrosion stops. The pressure on the delicate renal valves drops. The internal swelling recedes. The clinical dosage is precise. You need 500 to 1,000 milligrams of active curcumin daily. Consume it alongside a solid meal. Pause right here. Do not skip this step. If you eat turmeric without a pinch of black pepper, You are flushing 99% of its healing power down the drain. Black pepper contains piperine. It dilates the digestive membrane. It increases the absorption of curcumin by 2000%. You must also combine it with a healthy fat. Olive oil or avocado. Curcumin is fat-soluble. It needs a carrier lipid to transport it through the intestinal wall and into the hydraulic system. The second phase of the protocol requires allicin. This is the active compound in raw garlic. Hippocrates prescribed pungent bulbs for stagnant urine for a very specific reason. Allicin is a potent vasodilator. It acts as a Teflon spray for your internal architecture. It forces the microscopic pipes in your kidneys to physically widen. It relieves the hydraulic pressure instantly. It applies a chemical anti-rust coating to the cell walls. Crush 1 to 2 fresh cloves. Let them sit exposed to the air for 10 minutes. That oxygen exposure is the exact catalyst that activates the allicin. Do not heat it immediately. Next, you must repair the fractured cellular membrane. Dark berries deliver anthocyanins. They provide a dense layer of antioxidants to shield the filtration cells from future shrapnel. Eat 1 handful. Roughly 80 to 100 grams every day. Your filters also require mechanical lubricant to reduce friction. Western medicine praises wild-caught salmon for its omega-3 fatty acids. You do not need expensive fish. Canned sardines or mackerel packed in water provide the exact same EPA and DHA hydraulic lubricant. They lower the friction in the blood vessels. They cost a fraction of the price. They carry significantly lower heavy metal toxicity. Think about the violence of the arena. Roman gladiators did not survive on meat alone. They were called the barley men. They consumed barley because this specific complex carbohydrate binds to uremic sludge in the gut. It drags the toxins out of the body before they ever reach the kidneys. They used food as a shield. But a shield is useless if you are stabbing yourself in the back. You must eliminate the abrasive friction. Stop pouring acidic sludge into a failing pump. That means eliminating refined grains. They spike blood glucose. They create a sticky uremic sludge that clogs the nephrons. The sugar molecule latches onto the protein strand. It hardens. It crystallizes. And you must rethink your vegetables. The health food industry pushes high potassium leafy greens. Spinach. Kale. If your hydraulic filters are already compromised, they cannot process excess potassium. It builds up in the blood. It causes an electrical short circuit in your heart. That daily green smoothie is overloading a broken filter. You have the solvent. You know the exact dosage. You know what acidic sludge to avoid. But what exactly happens inside your body 7 days after starting this protocol? The repair sequence initiates within 72 hours. The biological solvent saturates the tissue. The internal rust begins to dissolve. The systemic wildfire suffocates. The microscopic valves regain their tight, impenetrable seal. Imagine waking up in 7 days. The heavy fog of 3 o'clock exhaustion is gone. The dull ache in your lower torso vanishes. Your cells are receiving oxygen again. The anemia fades. The ringing in your ears stops. You walk into your doctor's office. They look at your normalized glomerular filtration rate blood work in absolute silence. They ask what medication you started taking. You step into your bathroom. You look down into the toilet bowl. There is no bubbly foam. There is only crystal clear water. Modern disease is not a biological error. It is an environmental poisoning. Your body is not inherently broken. It is a self-cleaning machine capable of repairing its own DNA. It is simply trapped under decades of biological rust. Remove the interference. Give it the precise solvent. It will rebuild its own architecture. Your filters are secure. But they rely on another organ to process the heaviest toxins first. To learn how to protect your liver, the body's master chemical plant, click the video on your screen now.